Mr. James Hart.
If I win the election, I'll bring our boys home from Iraq, our job back from China, and send the Mexicans back to Mexico. Why did the Democrat Republicans tell you they sent your boys to Afghanistan? Because they claim people from Afghanistan came here, crashed planes in the Twin Towers, and caused them to collapse. Paul Wellstone's question is, who caused World Trade Tower 7? A 47-story steel frame cracker that fell 8 hours after the Twin Towers collapsed. It was never struck with a plane flown by anyone from Afghanistan or any other stand. Perhaps we should ask William Rodriguez, the last man alive of the World Trade Center. He was an eyewitness. He testified bombs went off under his feet, pushing him up before the plane struck the tower. And William Rodriguez is not alone. A committee of 1,000 architects and engineers, Richard Gage, architects and engineers from 902, testified steel frame skyscrapers are designed and engineered to remain standing even if the entire veneer burns off. And not one steel frame skyscraper has ever collapsed due to fire in the entire history of the world. That's the reason the firemen climbed up the Twin Towers to put out the fire. Because they knew it was a steel frame skyscraper. It couldn't possibly collapse due to fire. The firemen knew the steel girders in the Twin Towers will not melt till they reach a temperature of 2,600 degrees. And jet fuel, which is nothing but kerosene or charcoal start fluid, only burns at 1,800 degrees. The firemen knew you could put a steel girder over a jet fuel fire for 40 days and 40 nights and it wouldn't melt. Yet the Democrat Republicans think that the American workers are so stupid that we're going to believe them when they tell us that Darth Vader bin Laden magically melted a 4-inch thick steel girder in 20 minutes with charcoal start fluid. The Democrat Republicans think we American voters are so stupid that we're going to believe them when they tell us that for the first time in the history of the world, Darth Vader bin Laden magically caused a steel frame skyscraper to collapse solely because of fire. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in one day. And one of the towers was never even struck with a plane. Now, Ripley might believe it or not, but I'll believe in Darth Vader and the Death Star before I'll believe the Democrat Republicans' Twilight Zone tale that 2 planes knocked down 3 buildings. And listen to the Democrat Republicans' Twilight Zone tale about the magical plane that struck the Pentagon and vaporized on impact. It sounds like something from Rod Serling's Twilight Zone. I can imagine Rod Serling reading the narration while the Twilight Zone theme song is playing in the background. It goes do, 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 do. And Rod Serling says, American worker, would you believe that once upon a time in a galaxy far away, Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader bin Laden magically maneuvered a slow-moving passenger plane or magic carpet, we're not sure which because they vaporized on impact, through the state-of-the-art air defenses of the most highly defended military installation on the face of the planet to magically crash into the Pentagon, a veritable Death Star on Earth with air defenses designed to shoot down cruise ships or magic carpets, flying at 3 times the speed of sound at treetop level, and magically the entire plane, including the black box, the passengers' bodies, the luggage, the fuselage, and wings, vaporized on impact, leaving not a hint that the plane ever existed. Yeah, I believe that. Once upon a time in a galaxy far away. Now, you could believe the Democrat Republicans' Twilight Zone tale about the 2 magic planes that knocked down 3 buildings, or that Darth Vader bin Laden magically melted a 4-inch thick steel girder in 20 minutes with charcoal starter fluid, or that the plane struck the Pentagon vaporized on impact, or like Paul Wellstone, you could believe the eyewitness accounts of William Rodriguez and April Gallup. April Gallup was an eyewitness. She was working in the Pentagon at the time of the attack, and although she was knocked unconscious by the explosion, she miraculously survived and exited the Pentagon by walking through the hole made by the blast. April Gallup assumed Cheney and Rumsfeld in court for, quote, complicity in the attack. April Gallup testifies under oath to the court that when she walked through the hole made by the blast, she saw no plane. Why would she lie and spend all that money for legal expenses and court costs unless it were true? What are the Democrat Republicans hiding? Can anyone say USS Liberty? The question is not whether the Democrat Republicans would knowingly allow Americans to be killed in order to promote their political agenda, because we know the Democrat Republicans allowed 34 Americans to be killed in USS Liberty in order to promote their political agenda. The question is, did the Democrat Republicans do the same thing again on 9/11 and allow 3,000 Americans to be killed, which is what happened according to the eyewitness accounts of William Rodriguez and April Gallup? I will bring our boys back home from Iraq and Afghanistan so fast, Michael Moore and Sidney Sheehan will complain. I'm caught and running by convening a grand jury on behalf of Paul Wellstone to determine whether Democrat Republicans should be charged with treason for complicity in the murder of 3,000 Americans on 9/11. Thank you.